welcome to the show. I am so delighted to have Rene Maciel here with us today.
Thank you.
He is from First Woodway Baptist Church, and you've written a very powerful devotional, and I've been hearing about this the last several weeks, and I love hearing about this because it was your way of rediscovering joy, and it was out of a time that was not joyful at all. And we're talking about the pandemic.
Right.
So welcome. Thank you
Good to be with you
being
today.
with
Thanks
us.
so much.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Yeah, matter of fact, in 2020, when all this was going on around us and being a minister at a church, you begin to hear all kinds of stories about people being closed up, even family members that are in the hospital.
Oh, that was horrible.
People at their homes that couldn't leave their homes, people in hospice or where it may be. And it seemed like around us, people became more and more anxious, discouraged, depressed, to the point that lots of them, even Christians, followers, that just lost their joy in living. And even people that had passed during that time that had no connection with people, And so I began to write this and think about this, for me also discovering what is my joy in life? Is it people? Is it things? Is it stuff that we hold on to? And so lots of times we miss that. And I began to realize that the real joy in my life is my relationship with Jesus Christ. And a lot of times you meet people that don't fully understand that. And so this was an opportunity to write it down, put it together in a devotional thought. And hopefully the words on these pages will be something that'll encourage others to understand what real joy means in life.
Yeah. Well, as missions and community outreach pastor there at First Woodway, I mean, you have that opportunity to really, feel what people are going through. And we think back, and gosh, it's almost 6 years ago. It's hard to believe that all that stuff was happening then. But I think some people were changed forever by it. And in other ways, it's like, oh, that's just a bad dream, that happened.
Right.
And we, made it through it. But it was a time of fear and grief and uncertainty for folks.
Yes.
And looking for joy, looking for a reason.
And even that, I brought it up to date from the standpoint of, like I said, started writing this in 2020. But in my introduction, I just talk about here we are 5 years later, and still lots of division, lots of mistrust, lots of disunity, not only in life, in politics, but in homes as well.
Yeah.
And so once again, people are at a place where there's no truth, there's no hope, there's no congeniality from the standpoint of even meeting people. You're afraid of people in some ways, you know. But in my role at the church, it really is a role that I love and cherish from the standpoint of just meeting lots of different folks. And putting them at ease that I'm not a weirdo. I'm not,
Well, you do run a lot.
I do run a lot. I like to run still.
I know you like to run. There's something a little strange about that.
But from the standpoint of just meeting people, I love meeting people. I love connecting with them. I love getting to know their name. Lots of times we miss people's names even.
Yeah.
So I really have to make it a point to get to know people. And this opportunity through the book and through the words is really rediscovering the joy that comes through Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you were able to access the people and the blessings and the moments of grace, if you will, that are just right in front of you. So what inspired you to write this now?
Yeah, right now, I guess the reason I finally decided to put it on paper is I'd talked about doing it for a long time, and it just kind of set. And I've done a lot of writing. I've written for blogs. I've written for even things on Facebook to our church members on a consistent basis, and they were always encouraging the remarks. And so I thought, I need to try that and give it a try. And I've had lots of people around me that have done it. And so I finally decided that I just needed to put it down and write it. And I began to put it down in days. I began to put it down by subjects is the idea behind that. And in that particular day when I was writing on something like suffering or heartache or trouble or things like that. But part of that too is that on the front cover of this book is my dog, Kobe.
He's so cute.
My daughter is a graphic designer. Carmen is her name. And she illustrated that. And I think about when I go into the house at home, man, And of course, my dog was always there to greet me.
Oh, and they're always just the happiest thing in the world.
8-year-old golden doodle.
Yeah.
And immediately, you can't help but smile. You can't help feel an expression of joy that dog greets you there. But at the same time, when we know Jesus Christ as our personal Lord and Savior, it is also an understanding that we have this inner joy in us that nothing else can take the place, or nothing else can squelch that joy either. It shouldn't, but lots of times it does, but it shouldn't. But with that dog, there's no change in him.
That's right.
There's no change in him.
Yeah,
There's no
it's the
change in
same.
him. He is the same. He's consistent. And my last day 31, is about Kobe, by the way. And so
Kobe's
it's
his
in
name?
the day 31,
Yeah.
and Kobe's his name. And so I kind of relate a lot of this to understanding the things we go through. And I start out each day with just saying, here's just my thoughts. Here's my thoughts on suffering. Here's my thoughts on grace. Here's my thoughts on family. And just saying, they're just real flesh, human thoughts of this is how I feel. But then when you get into understanding who Christ is, it's a different understanding, a different heart, a different mind, a different spirit.
Yeah.
And so,
You mentioned that God stirred in you during those early days of the pandemic. What did that journey look like for you, both personally and spiritually?
I think more than anything else, immediately, I think March 12th is when we found out I was headed to Chile on a mission trip.
Right.
I stopped into the coffee shop that morning.
And the world was shutting down in
And
March
someone
of
said,
2020.
"Did you hear about Santiago?" I said,
Oh.
"No, what?" He said, "Well, you can't get into Santiago."
Oh.
And so immediately I called my pastor up, I called others up, and we could not go to Chile. So that was on March 12th. March 18th, we immediately opened up our food pantry and started really providing food for anybody that needed assistance. And we had gloves on, masks on, all of that stuff that was going on. You remember that?
Distancing, the whole
And so
thing.
we began
Yeah.
to help people out right away. And every time we'd have
So there
people-
was a call for more of that kind of help
You
at
bet,
that time?
You bet. And and all those people that were driving up and
Yeah.
during that time, and it was very slow at the beginning, but it got bigger and bigger and bigger as the pandemic went on. But everybody that you'd meet or you'd run into, they were beyond grief. They were beyond hope. They were beyond, the food was just a little bit of help, but it didn't satisfy them in any way, And by the way, we prayed with every single family that came
Sure.
through there.
Yeah.
And there was lots of tears and lots of, people that were just scared. They were just flat scared.
Well, nobody knew what was going to
Exactly.
happen next.
And again,
yeah.
not anybody that truly understood the joy of the Lord, the strength of God in our life. And so it was really that journey at that time that I began to realize, there are people around us that are just hopeless. There was hopelessness going on.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, okay, what is the opposite of that? Well, it's faith is what the opposite of that is. And faith is that joy in us, that understanding of joy in our lives. It comes through Jesus Christ. And so I began just to put thoughts down, just words down. And I never thought I'd be into a devotional book or something like that, but I'm thrilled about that.
So where did the 31-day structure come from?
It was really
And I love that. I love devotionals that are like
Well,
that
and-
because I'll go back and reread, and you see something different. Even like I read this,
Yeah.
28 days ago. Or
It
whatever.
really is taking a month, is what it is. Taking a month.
It's
So
gonna
31
take a
days.
month.
Take a month that you go through it, and you can start any month. But here's my plan, and hopefully I'll come back on your show one time. But my plan is I started kind of in the middle, but love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and self-control, gentleness and self-control. So this is going to be the fruit of the Spirit series.
Yeah.
My next one that I'm already working on is called 31 Days of Love.
Oh.
And so I'll do the whole series. I'll do the whole fruit of the Spirit.
Oh, good
Love,
for you.
joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and faith and self-control. So this is book number 1, which again started in the middle of the pandemic. I've already started working on 31 Days of Love. I'll have that out by next November is the plan.
Good.
And
We'll
so,
make a date for you
and so
to come back. Yeah.
we'll plan on going through the whole series of 31 days, and you can take those months. You can take the book and take a month that you need to go through love or through gentleness or through self-control or whatever it may be. But that's my pipe dream or my God dream of doing that.
Okay.
And I'm excited about that. And so working on it.
I love that. That's great. Many people, we mentioned this, that still carry that emotional and spiritual heaviness from the pandemic
do.
and what happened.
Yeah.
Let's talk about happiness versus joy.
Yeah. As you say that, I just looked at a report. It's called the World Happiness Report. You can find it online.
Mm-hmm.
The number one country in the world in happiness is Finland.
Okay.
I think number 8 was Israel. Number 18 was Mexico. Number 24 was the United States of America on that report. And a lot of that report had to do, the summary talked about giving ourselves away. In other words, benevolence.
Right.
Those that end up giving or helping or serving other people are more happy when they give themselves away. And those countries that are ahead of us, we're 24 in the world, those countries that are ahead of us, people are giving, helping, assisting, volunteering. Benevolence is showing up more in those countries than in our country. Now you think about that, we're so consumed with things, stuff, my phone.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
so we don't think about giving ourselves away or assisting or volunteering or serving as much as we used to.
Yeah.
True happiness, according to that report, is talking about really giving and assisting and serving and being ready to help other people out, volunteering in chaos, you know. And so it's interesting. There's a difference between that joy and there's a difference between that happiness. The joy is an internal thing that you experience through Christ in desperation, in trouble. And there's many of these days that I talk about trouble, pain, suffering.
Right.
Even in the midst of those, you can still have joy. I think happiness has to do with really understanding that the only way I'm going to be ever be happy in life is by giving my life to other people, assisting other people, caring for other people, you know. And in that too, I think you would find the joy, you would find the experience that God intended for you originally, and knowing and understanding that by helping other people,
Yeah.
you know. And so that, I think, it's probably one of the reasons my job is such a fun job. I get to do a lot of things that, you know, a lot of people think, no, I'm not going to do that. But it really is an opportunity for me just to take people along with me and say, wait till you get there. Wait till you see what we're doing. And then you'll fall in love with the opportunity. And one of those things that I've done many times, I go down and serve at Caritas.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And what I do is I push baskets of groceries out to the cars, meet all kinds of people, and I pray with every one of them. And it's amazing the conversations I get in those people. And it is just such a treat when you finally give yourself away, when you assist, when you care, when you serve. And again, that backside of that, Ann, is this, that, man, you begin to experience the joy of the Lord, you know, and knowing that the fulfillment in my life, the happiness in my life is, I love my family. I'm happy with my family. I'm happy with my dog. I'm happy with a lot of things in my life, but the joy that really comes from experiencing and knowing God has given you these opportunities.
Yeah. Well, here we've just experienced Thanksgiving, had a wonderful day, still turkey leftovers, I'm sure. and today is Black Friday.
Right.
And so what a perfect time to kind of bring that focus to this time of year. We're thinking about giving, obviously, gifts and all that kind of thing. But I think joy is going to come from serving others and finding maybe ministries or nonprofits or things to
ways to volunteer,
give to, ways to
bet.
give back during this season, because these holiday season, you know, it can be so busy for folks, but it can also be desperately sad.
Yeah, I think we begin to fill
lonely
our
for
minds
folks.
and our hearts with all kinds of things that maybe we're getting or doing. But I think the real freedom comes in our life, or the real joy comes in our life, when we finally begin to give ourselves away. And the older I get, you know, the things are not as important to me as they used to be. But I think the times that I get to volunteer or serve and connect with people, those are probably some of the best things that happen in my life nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm grateful for that. And this is just a way to express the joy of God's goodness, the Thanksgiving that we just experienced, to be able to thank Him for the goodness that He's had in my life. And even not only the goodness, but even the hard times. You know, we need to be mindful that life is full of hard times. So you're going to have to experience also the joy even through the difficult times in your life, and be thankful as well. You know? And so,
So much more I want to talk to you about. I want to get a little bit more into the tall weeds
Yeah.
on some of your individual days of your 31 days of joy.
Bet.
Rene, we will be back. Going to take a break though. First, I want to tell you need to save the dates coming right up, December 3rd through 7th, and go to Clifton and experience a Norwegian Christmas. Stay with us. There's more of the show ahead.
Bubble wasn't here. I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit propmoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
Studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
Introducing Muck-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level.
The Waco Fire Department is making plans to put a holiday fire engine back into action this year. Starting the weekend after Thanksgiving and running through the weekend before Christmas, Waco Fire is bringing back holiday cheer to your neighborhood. They'll be posting their location schedules on their socials, but you can also find when they'll be in your neighborhood on the City of Waco's website. Designs with Jamie and Chaw Community are coming together to organize and host their annual Black, Indigenous, People of Color owned Sip and Shop Market in Waco, Texas. We want minority-owned businesses in town to continue to shine and showcase their handmade goods this holiday season. So, Chaw Community will be featuring a dozen local and Texas-based BIPOC makers and creatives in the market alongside Chaw's Buy One, Get One tea and classic drink special throughout the event. I'm Elizabeth Riley with your Act Locally Waco News, and I will see you next time.
Natural Cycles identifies your fertile window by analyzing changes in your temperature. Just measure in the morning, add your temperature into the app, then learn which days you can and cannot get pregnant. It's that easy. Learn more at naturalcycles.com.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
But boy, it looked effortless.
Man, watch this.
Layups, floaters, threes. He was like an unsolvable equation.
I was born like this.
His resilience, his strength, his belief, adversity never stood a chance.
Know your power.
We offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business.
Experience with the Bosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. They let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
BosleyMD.com.
At Tusane's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Visit Tusanes.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com. Launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. That's ULIKE.com. You like.
And we are back with Rene Maciel, who is the Missions and Community Outreach Pastor at First Woodway Baptist Church in Woodway, I guess it's considered. I live just up the street in Twin Rivers, which is Waco, and of course that is my home church, full disclosure.
Yes.
I've known you quite a while.
You bet.
Now, how long have
bet.
you been at First?
Well, a matter of fact, we lived in Waco in the 80s, and I worked at Bader at that time. So worked at Bader from 85 to 90, went to First Woodway at that time.
Yeah.
Moved away, came back in 99, worked for Truett Seminary for a number of years. We were at First Woodway at that time.
Yeah.
Moved away again, and then I've come back, and now I'm on staff at First Woodway, so it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Good to be home.
It just keeps like a magnet.
I know it.
Drawing you back. Let's talk about some scripture and spiritual practices.
You bet.
I mean, you mentioned in Nehemiah 8:10, the joy of the Lord is your strength.
Right.
And so what does that verse mean to you personally?
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, I think, again, all of us, as we deal with life, life is not always a happy fulfillment of experiences in life. There's lots of pain, lots of struggle, lots of things in our life that we push through. Even as I age, I think about retirement. I think about health. I think about loss of family members, loss of loved ones. And so how do I experience joy? How can I remain strong even through those difficult days in my life? And again, as I get older, people have always told me, getting old is not fun. It's not for the weak, And so as we get older,
That's right,
I know there are days ahead of me
Yeah.
that will be harder,
Yeah.
But again, the strength in my life comes from knowing Christ. And it also is an internal joy that is in me that I think even through those difficult times that I've already experienced, and more knowing that there's more coming, that again, my joy and the strength of my life comes from my God.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Your devotional highlights the power of gratitude and reflection. Are there some simple practices people can do to be reminded of gratitude?
Yeah, you bet. That's a good one. I think for me, it is amazing for me, and I share this with a lot of people. I came from a Hispanic home. My dad, a Hispanic pastor, Hispanic man that attended Bader back in the 50s. And as a kid growing up in Tucumcari, New Mexico, we didn't have a lot. He was an educator, a high school teacher. My mom was a stay-at-home mother. So we didn't have a lot as kids, but as I look at my life now, I realize, man, God has given me so much more than my parents ever had. So much more than a lot of people have around me, and I'm thankful, again, from the gratitude side. God, there's a reason, there's a purpose. You use all things in our life for us to be used by you. And so I look at that as a way to get up in the morning and say, God, all of this, this is far beyond what I ever imagined. This all comes from you. Everything I have, everything I own, everything that I'm doing, it is from you. And so in the same way, this book, a matter of fact, as I received these books, I really prayed over them and just said, God, I want this to be about you. I want to thank you for the opportunity to do this. And so I'm praying that God will be glorified and that someone would pick this up and take this as an opportunity and say, you know what, I really needed that word of understanding struggle or pain or gratitude or grace or something like that in my life to be able to grow up in my life as well. And so.
You mentioned teachers. You come from teachers. I know that was one of the focus.
Yes.
Of one of your chapters. You want to talk about that? Because, talk about unsung heroes.
The day that I wrote that particular day, I was thinking about my wife is in the school system. She's been a speech pathologist for 35 years. She works with the co-op, but at the same time, she's in schools every day. And there are so many teachers out there that do so much. And there is not a tougher profession out there nowadays than public school teachers that are serving and loving and caring and trying to educate children. And that's where my dad began. And now I've got a sister that's in public education. I've got a daughter that's in public education. And so that day, I was just reminded in that particular day that I was writing, and I was writing about teachers and just reminded of the teachers that I had, the teachers of my family, and how grateful I am for what they do, and just grateful for even understanding that the joy in our life comes from meeting people and being connected to people like that give so much in their profession.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just kind of flipping through some of the headers or God's word, pursuit. Here's one: waiting. Day 20.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the hardest thing to do. Isn't
It is.
Waiting,
It is.
waiting on God.
Yeah, waiting on God. And I think about there are times in our life that we've prayed expecting things to happen in our life, maybe not instantly, but quick, or things that we expect to happen in our life, period, And God lots of times uses things in our life to help us wait on Him, trust in Him, put our hope in Him. And it doesn't mean that He's going to answer them the way we want them, but the waiting, as a matter of fact, grows us into being faithful and following Him. Because I think, again, it's easy to have faith in God when He's answering your prayers all the time, when things are going well in your life. Yes, I have faith in God, but how is your faith when you're waiting on God? Are you trying to push through things? And there's lots of stories in the Bible that people that didn't wait on God. And that's true like us as well, the same stories that we don't wait on God. And so we have an alternate plan, or we begin to manipulate life around us. And I think I talk about that a little bit. We begin to manipulate life around us, hoping that we could change things, not waiting on God, and then we miss the joy that God has intended for us originally because we don't wait. But when we wait upon the Lord, He renews our strength, gives us wings of eagles, and we are able to experience the joy that God has intended for us from the first place, in the first place, And maybe even one of those stories in that particular day was, again, Adam and Eve, here they are in the Garden of Eden, and God, just living their lives, but they didn't wait. They decided to make a decision on their own. And lots of times we do the same thing, and we tend to mess things up when we don't wait on God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of my favorite Psalms is wait, resting in the Lord, wait patiently for Him, and He'll give you your heart's desire.
You bet. So, and lots of times, if the desire is not necessarily that thing or that person or those things.
You wanted. Yeah.
When we wait on God, we begin to realize it is God that I'm waiting and trusting and hoping in. We begin to see Him, through that wait. Yeah. And so that's the challenging part, though, because waiting is not easy at all. And we live in this society nowadays that does not wait on anything, right?
It's instant. We want everything instant. Well, I love how you quote some amazing C.S. Lewis and here Chuck Swindoll. I mean,
using quotes,
just so many quotes from folks, and you include in it pages for people to write their thoughts down, and it's just kind of such a well-rounded opportunity to spend time with the Lord, but with a little guidance.
That's the intention that people would take this and be able to think about how God is speaking to them. And towards the end of every day, I think the thought I use there is think about these things, or think about from the standpoint, how does this relate in your own life? Give some thought to this a little bit. And so I'm hoping that people take a time to be quiet, be still, go through this devotional guide, and maybe in that each and every day they'll be able to relate in their own life some areas in their own life where they've missed the joy of God in their life, or they've allowed other things to control and dictate how they live their life, that there's even to the point of there's no joy. They haven't experienced joy in a long time. So I'm hoping this will actually draw some people back to the joy of the Lord is our strength. That's where our strength comes from.
Yeah. Is there a particular day or an entry in the devotional that is especially close to your heart?
I think more than anything else, the last day 31, is one of my favorites. I went back and read that one over and over and over again. That's about Kobe. Day 31 is Kobe.
I love this picture of him.
And of course, I've got.
How did he get his name?
in all honesty, I was a Kobe Bryant fan.
I was going to say, it had to be, that's what I thought.
I've been a Laker fan since Jerry West, Gil, all those are old guys,
Yeah.
And so Kobe was a basketball player. I played college basketball, so I really liked watching Kobe. Kobe was just a good name for our dog, but I wrote about Kobe. And I wrote about what I talked about a while ago, how Kobe waits. And when he comes home, there's always joy on his face. Mm-hmm. He's so thrilled to see me. And so that's one of my favorites. But also, I think the day about my mom was also I can't remember what day it was. Let me look at it real quickly here to see what day it was. But I wrote about my mom. And I spent the last day with my mom and on this earth. And let's see, what day is that? I'm looking for it. Where'd it go?
Dad, brothers.
Mom, day 25.
Okay.
Day 25, and the last day was with Mom by her bedside. We prayed together.
Mom.
We sang together. We read scripture together. Yeah. My mom was always in choir, but we sang together. And she lived to 98. She was a very strong lady, but she was the one that dragged me to church. It was her. It wasn't until later on in life till my dad came to know the Lord, but it was my mom who dragged us kids to church. And so her faith, her hope in God was a strength early on in my life, but always a lady that was singing, a lady that was always joyful, a lady that was always ready for family to come home and be with, especially at Thanksgiving. I miss that time with her now because she's not there, but she was always excited. And Mom was a cook and a half.
I was going to say, what was the best thing at Thanksgiving?
Well, I mean, you name it. It was a little bit of everything because, she always did turkey and traditional stuff, but she would also start tamales at that time as well. And she's from the Castillo family, which is the Italian village downtown.
I know. I remember that well.
Casa de Castillo's family, La Fiesta's family, Way Cool Tacos, that's all family.
It's all your family.
But my mom was probably one of the best cooks in the family. I'm going to say that. The others can debate me on that, but Mom was one of the best cooks. So, Thanksgiving was about food, and her joy was cooking all that food. Mm-hmm. So we've missed that, but at the same time, I remember the songs. I remember the singing. Mm-hmm. And I know that when we meet again one of these days, she'll be leading the songs. She'll be one of those people leading the song because she was always singing, and we always laughed at her because she was always singing. But that was just Mom, and so that was a joy that I remember in her. And I'm a lot like my mom. My brothers and sisters are a lot like my dad, but in many ways I'm like my mom. I'm very gregarious, outgoing, ready to meet anybody, everybody. And so there's always, in some ways, a song in my heart as well. And I'm grateful
you're a great
again.
singer as well. Yeah,
I love to sing. I love to
hear you sing.
And so, but Mom was a singer and a lover of life and a lover of family. Mm-hmm. And so that was a joy I experienced in my life that was unmistakable, and grateful for it.
Yeah, I love your quote from Billy Graham, who writes, "Only God himself fully appreciates the influence of a Christian mother in the molding of character in her children."
Yep. And not just me, my siblings as well. When Mom passed, it was a hard time, but at the same time, we had such good. Mom passed at Thanksgiving time.
Oh, so this can
be
be
2 years ago.
Well, it can be a very sad.
Yeah, it can be, but at the same time, the joy of knowing her and knowing where her strength came from, and then again, remembering all the love she expressed through her cooking and through her family time was just something that we continue to celebrate.
Yeah. Well, and the hope that as believers we have that even though we grieve the loss,
yes.
we don't grieve as someone with no hope.
We don't live there. We shouldn't live there because we know that tomorrow is a new day. And we know that one day we will rejoice. And I think there's a quote in there that when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be.
Let's all
and
sing.
And so that's one of the quotes I use in
when
there.
We all
and
see
so
Jesus.
I'll see her again, and I'll see my dad again, and we'll experience true joy, lasting joy, the fulfillment of joy through Christ and through Christ the King. So I'm excited about that and excited about this book.
So that is such an encouraging word at this time of year when so many people do suffer.
Yes.
From loss that they've experienced and they think, I just don't know if I can get through the holidays.
Yeah.
So
this is a tough time for people because going into Christmas, going into the holidays, it is not an experience of joy. There's not a fulfillment in their life. But thinking about that a little bit, Ann, it really has to do with holding on to other things in our life. And I can honestly tell you, I've done the exact same thing. There's been times in my life that I've held on to people or things or stuff, and that never satisfied me. It never brought contentment in my life. And again, as I get older, I begin to realize, you begin to understand really the full contentment, the true contentment in our life comes through Jesus Christ. And so as we are busy at Christmas time, and by the way, that's probably one of the most busiest times for us in missions and outreach.
Oh, yeah.
Is
In a church.
connecting with people.
Yeah.
And so because it is a wonderful opportunity to share the gospel with people who have no hope, who have no faith, who have no God. And so we really do a lot of things during the Christmas holidays to connect with people.
What a great gift for that person who will accept and receive, and their life changed, made new. I love to end these little visits with a questionnaire similar to the one the late, great James Lipton would use on Inside the Actor's Studio. So this is my take on it. So, Rene, what is your favorite word, since you are a wordsmith?
New wordsmith. My favorite word. I would probably say endurance.
Oh, good. Kind of your runner, runner
endurance
in you.
as a runner, endurance. But you think about even the small things in life. A busy schedule. Today is a busy day.
Yeah.
So it really is persevering. It's enduring. It's standing, taking a stand, holding on. The idea is that I would endure not only this day I have today, a busy day, but next year as I turn 68, I'll endure the things that come along with that age, that I'll endure at 75, that I'll endure. My dad lived a long life as well. I've always told my girls, I'm living till 100 years old and I'm going to stop. I'm going to sit down and just stop. And so I've got 33 more good years left in me, Ann, to endure,
Lots
to press
of living.
on, to be active, to stay busy in life. But it really is a matter of running in a race in such a way as to win the prize. And so it is a matter of enduring. And that endurance sometimes is difficult, struggle, pain, heartache. But underlying all of that is really understanding that real joy comes in life through Jesus Christ.
What is your least favorite word?
I would probably say the least favorite word is probably, we just talked about it, waiting.
Yeah. No, nobody likes that. So what turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Yeah. I'm a music guy.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. And so when I study, when I read, I always have my headphones on and I'm listening to classical music. I'm listening to melancholy, quiet instrumental music. And that really kind of motivates me and makes me think a little bit about life and circumstances and people. And so that kind of motivates me. And lots of times when I'm getting ready to preach on Sunday mornings or I've preached at other places and the music begins, lots of times it just pulls me. It calls to me lots of times. And God always has the right song, the right word for me before I preach to be able to pull me into that. So it's music that draws me. It draws me into that thought and even to writing down words. So I'm never writing without some kind of music going in the background for me to kind of be encouraged along the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what turns you off creatively or spiritually or emotionally?
Yeah, definitely busyness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I hear that a lot.
And I'm good at that too because, we get so busy, we get so wrapped up that you really lose your creative ideas and juices because you fill your life with so many things that you think are important and they, in somewhat they are important. But lots of times, a lot of that busyness is just busyness. It's just, and I think again, in our society, we can barely be away from our phones nowadays, because there's always something going on that we need to pay attention to, and it's just another addition to the busyness that's already going on.
Another
and so
layer.
definitely busyness would be that.
Yeah. You mentioned music. You love music. What is your favorite sound, though? It doesn't have to be music. Might be.
Yeah, I think favorite sound for me is definitely when I'm listening to classical, it is the cello.
Oh, really?
And
yeah.
so
It's
the
beautiful.
cello is just hard to beat, and you have a cellist that is just playing. And lots of times those professional cellists, man, they're playing not just with their arms and from the standpoint of holding that under their chin, they are playing with passion, and man alive, I tell you what, that to me is something that you can feel lots of times in the cello. And so I love the cello for me to listen to. And I put it on a station through Spotify or through Pandora
And so-
to be able to listen to cello a lot.
Give me cello.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've never heard that. What sound do you not like? That's like, ugh.
The other day I was in a restaurant and it was just noise, and so lots of times you get in the busyness of noise, just noise around you.
Yeah.
And our lives are full of noise, and I relate that theologically, that lots of times our lives are full of lots of voices, lots of words, lots of things being spoken, lots of civil discourse that's
Not so civil.
Not so civil.
Yeah.
And so lots of noise and voices out there that really distract you and pull you and even pull good people, good Christian people they know they know the Bible, they know God, but still those voices and those noises from the outside pull people away from
You're right.
understanding what real joy is in life.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are a pastor now. You serve in ministry. Was there a career or a job you wanted to try, or I know you've worked in education. You've done a lot of different things.
Yeah,
So-
I was in education for 31 years, higher ed, but I really went to college at Hardin-Simmons University to do my undergrad, and I went there to play basketball. I was half basketball, half golf scholarship, and so I went there to play sports. And I always wanted to be a professional basketball player. I mean, that was my dream. At one time, it was my dream.
Play with Kobe.
And so that's right. And so that was a heart thing. And I began to realize, my body just didn't last very long.
Yeah.
And so, but sports was always in my dream. I thought that I
good.
thought about. But as I began to grow older and being more involved in higher education, I felt more and more pulled to the church. After 31 years in higher ed, and most of those schools that I was at were all schools that were training and pastors and ministers. I finally decided to be one.
Yeah.
And so I've loved being in the church, and I love being able to serve and to really call out the community to do things and go and serve and volunteer in different places as well. Share the gospel.
Good.
Yeah.
So what job do you know, I don't want that, let somebody else do that? No thanks.
I think I did this while I was in high school, and it was retail.
Yeah, working with the public. Well, no, you work with the public, but it's a little different.
But standing on your feet all day long,
Yeah.
and that's a challenge. It's like teachers. It's really a tough job,
Yeah, it is.
being in retail, and you have to be good at it.
Yeah.
And in some ways, you have to be called to it. I served 8 years at the New Mexico Baptist Children's Home taking care of kids, and it was very rewarding. But you talk about the toughest job, because you're dealing with kids that come from broken homes. And so nobody wants a job that you're taking care of kids every single day in your cottage, not only your kids, but also other kids. But you have to really feel called by God to be in a place like that, to love kids that are coming from broken homes, and you're really loving them in spite of all kinds of baggage they're carrying. And in the same way, teachers and people that are in retail and everyday life, man, those are tough jobs, and really almost you need to be called to them. That you have a call, you have a calling to be able to be connected with people every day. And I admire people like that. I truly do. But they have to have quite a personality to be able to handle that. It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's a lot. One last question.
Yes, ma'am.
When you arrive at the pearly gates, what do you want to hear the Lord say to you?
Well done, good and faithful servant, but at the same time, I look forward to being able to truly understand at those pearly gates, the joy and excitement of my master, my savior, my God, what a joy. And again, that goes back to that song, what a day. What a day.
Yeah, what a day that will be. Oh, well, this has been a great day for me.
I'm excited
to sit
about it.
here and visit with you and to see 31 Days of Joy. How can folks get their own copy?
Matter of fact, as we look into this, December 12th is the launch date.
Okay.
December 12th, we're going to have a launch party at La Fiesta.
All right.
I'll be there from 11:30 to 1:30, just kind of with signing some books, but also just launching it and asking others to kind of help me launch it by posting on their social media. But you can find it at Amazon, and it'll be available on Amazon December 12th. And so I'm excited again about the opportunity of being able to spread this out a little bit.
Good. And the first of a series.
It's the first of the series. That's right.
That's excellent. Thank you so much,
And
Rene.
thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
blessings on you. It's really exciting to get to learn more.
Thank you for the
about
opportunity
this.
to be with you today.
Yeah, good. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today. Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator. Welcome to Kitbag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, for true football passion, think Kitbag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's KITBAG.com. Kitbag. Since 2014, we've been creating vegan, clean, and affordable skincare with proven actives and potent botanicals designed to treat your ever-changing skin. Celebrate our first decade of transformation today at facetheory.com/US-EN. Face Theory.
Tasmanian spring water range from Sand and Sky. This range is really good for dry and dehydrated skin like myself, packed with 2 types of hyaluronic acid, fermented sea kelp to reduce redness, and my skin feels so dewy and so hydrated.
Finding a sleep sack that my baby likes has been a struggle.
The sleep sack from Joy is a major upgrade.
It is all natural eucalyptus, which is breathable and hypoallergenic.
And welcome back to the show. It is Black Friday, so I'm dressed, ready to go hit the
mostly
stores.
black, yeah.
I know you're mostly in black, but today we're spotlighting an event that is going to bring Waco storytellers, influencers, artists, entrepreneurs all together under one roof. It's Creator Fest 2025 coming up on December 18th, so mark your calendar at the Performing Arts Community Center up Austin Avenue. And joining us are 2 people who are at the heart of it. Creator Fest founder, Debbie Wright. Good to have you here. And Mike Hamilton.
Hello.
Of Rogue Media. Rogue
Yeah.
is one of the sponsors,
Yes.
kind of a host
Yes.
of this
Happy to be.
event. And so they're here to tell us what this is all about. Because this really kind of was your brainchild, right, Debbie? So let's start with you.
Well, honestly, I've just been doing a lot of content this year, so it takes a lot of time editing, as most people in the content world know.
Well, I have an editor.
Oh, okay. We got
one.
people
Yeah.
we pay for that. But I was realizing like how isolating it can be whenever people are trapped in the editing booth for so many hours, or you're out getting content, but then you're not really interacting in the way you want to be. And then also just getting, collaborators and being able to do things with other people. So if you have a travel account and someone else runs a comedy account, why don't you do something together? Why don't we have people in the area do things together and help promote each other and help get each other, off the ground and bring some cool ideas to life. So that was really just the whole idea behind it. Obviously, I just recently launched my Nowhere travel vlog. So that's really K-N-O-W, Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Right, nowhere.
Kind of a play off the No Waco.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So Nowhere.
Yes.
And so tell me about that.
Yes. So obviously with No Waco, we hit 230
something like that. Yeah.
episodes.
Felt
And
like
so
500.
Felt like
No, I'm
500. We
just
did it for 5 years. So we were like, what's something new we can do? So with Nowhere, it kind of was Waco and Central Texas and beyond.
Oh, yeah.
So really just giving me the opportunity to travel, go to some really cool places all over Texas.
Traveling
Just
to
highlight them.
Texas.
Traveling Texas.
Now with Debbie.
And now me.
You went to Ren Fair, and
yes.
you went to where else?
We've been to the Tulip Festival. We've been to Dallas. We did the Tea Around Town bus, the double-decker, all-pink bus. In Dallas, that was really fun.
Yeah.
We've
done
done
the
Houston.
Arboretums?
We've not done the Arboretums
Do the
yet.
Arboretums.
There's a beer festival going on at one of the Arboretums in Austin and I was like, maybe we can go do that.
Very visually, very rich, very rich. See, so here we're already
much.
collaborating.
Yes, I know, we're collaborating.
That's what this is all about. Mike, so we're hosting. I say I'm part of the Rogue Media family.
Yeah, you are a very important part of the Rogue Media family.
I'm very happy to say that. So what makes this a good fit?
So, and I watch a lot of really bad YouTube videos, and a lot of it I watch just to kind of fill the void in the background, right? I grew up as a TV kid, and so I feel like I have to have this constant input of TV, right? My wife does not feel that way. But I have been watching a lot of creators, your Gabby Bells, your... anyway, there's a bunch of them. Danny Rodriguez, those guys, that they all know each other and they all collaborate with each other, and they've been able to grow each other's accounts so much more quickly that way. There's got to be folks here in town that want to collaborate with each other that way. And that's what I had hoped that we would get out of this. Just find some collaborators that want to work together, that want to do silly things together, that want to review movies, that want to go around town, that want to talk about video games, whatever. I just think it's easier, that big heavy lift of creating a show, editing a show, getting the show out there, being your own advertiser, all of those things. It's so much easier when there's somebody else there at least to bounce off of. Because a lot of the times, and you know this, it's like you're just speaking into the void. You don't know if anybody's watching. You don't know if anybody cares.
Yeah, you're hoping they will.
Cross your fingers.
You're hoping they'll share. Share.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
always good.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Go to the Ann Harder Show and subscribe.
That's right.
And
that's right.
That'd
yes,
be great.
Please do.
Yeah. So I went from 0 to
I'm at
200.
You've got a few, and we're working on it every day, and it's hard as a single show. Again, it was one of the reasons we started the network, is so that these shows could work together, and I'm hoping that we can do that same thing with creators. And I just want to be there to help. This is not a Rogue event. This is Debbie's thing. This is Debbie and the PACC, right?
Yes.
And I salute them for doing it. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I think the creators should show up, just see what's in it for you.
Right. And so what time of the day on
By the way,
18th?
we're not asking for money.
Oh, no,
it's
a free event.
This is all
Right.
free.
It is a free event.
This is not like come see us so that we can sign you up. That's not what this is.
Right.
It is December 18th.
But if you want to, you will talk
I'd
to
be
them.
happy to sign people up. Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
We're going to ask for your email, just so you know. Be prepared.
Blood type, shoe size.
Mother's maiden name.
It more than anything, it strikes me this is a networking event.
That's right.
Yes.
So what can folks expect when they first walk in the door? And again, what time does it start?
Yes, so it is December 18th at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay.
Tentatively, we're shooting for like 2.5 hours. We'll kind of see how the night goes. So no real in time, as long as the party's still going, we'll be a-flowing. But basically, you'll come in. We are actually going to be having a build your own, obviously with the creator theme, a create your own Sunday bar, and a create your own taco bar. Right. So you can obviously get content while you're there of the event.
Put a Sunday on a taco?
Actually,
and some refreshments too.
Yes, and there will be drinks. The PACC does have, I said drinks that are both holly and jolly, so they do have coffee and they do have cocktails. Well, beer and wine cocktails. So they will have plenty of beverages for people to try. And then we will have a backdrop. I actually came up with some really cute little games. So we have a tree pong. So it looks like a little Christmas tree, and it's beer pong, but tree pong.
Nice.
And you get it in, and you win a little prize. If you get it in the cup, you get a little candy.
Wow.
And then I'm working on a creator mixer bingo card. So a bingo card is basically going to be like, post on your story and tag us. You get a tag. Meet someone who's been content creating for a year. You get a tag. Meet someone who's in sports. Get a tag. And again, once you complete your bingo game, you actually get entered in for a raffle. So once you get your bingo
way
board,
for folks to mix and mingle.
exactly.
For
So
sure,
again, we want it to be fun. We want it to be inventive. Hopefully, we'll have some live music.
We
It's
will.
really just going to be a super fun night of community and where people can come together and hang out at the PACC.
Oh, and it's such a great venue. It's wonderful that this it's relatively new, really, for
They just celebrated a
downtown
year.
Waco. Yeah, right.
Congratulations, David. Shout out.
All right, I need to get him on the show.
Yes.
He's the next one. So influencers, podcasters, artists, small business owners, this is for any number of creative type.
I don't think Debbie knows this yet, but I'm also bringing a couple of other folks. There's a thing that we do each month called Facilitation Lab through ArtSpark, Texas in Austin, as well as Voltage Control. We get together, and it's basically kind of a think tank type thing where you just get there. We always bring a cake for some reason. I think
why not? Everything's better with
cake. You
cake.
think better with cake.
Well,
That's
you
right.
make brownies, so there you go.
There you go. But anyway, we've been doing this for a little over a year, and I would like to bring that also to this, with your blessing,
Of course.
where people can get. Let's say you don't want to be on camera. Let's say you don't want to be the creator, but you want to be involved in projects and things like that are coming up. So the block party that we have once a year, or anything else that we have coming, Warriors Canvas that we did, with the veterans and painting and things like that. If you want to be involved in that, great. Come on down for this also, and we'll get you signed up for something like that.
Yeah, and that was kind of the idea too. So like if you're somebody who is already a sports journalist or you write about sports, but you don't want to be the person in front of the camera, we want to be able to find somebody to do that for you. We want to be able to find a face. If you're a writer, if you're an illustrator, maybe you want to find somebody that you can, again, just collaborate in a creative way. And that's, again, what this was born out of.
Oh, well, the new media is such an exciting thing because it is new. I mean, it's just unplowed territory, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, it's a strange world out there, Ann, that people hold lav mics and, they film things in their car. So, it's a strange little world, but it's exciting, too, because you don't know what kind of voices you're going to get out of this. These are not people that are classically trained. These are not people that have a ton of experience, but everybody has a story. I think that's kind of what this all comes back to, right?
I always reference that big painting outside the window here in Silos. Everyone has a story worth telling.
Everybody has a story worth telling, and I would love to just be a part of that. You know this from working with us for over 5 years. We just want to tell those stories. We want to give people their moment in the sun. That's really all it is.
It's a wonderful opportunity, and I've just talked with so many people about how through this show I have been introduced to so many amazing folks, and a lot of times I'll just be at a coffee or tea or whatever and just meet somebody and go, oh, man, you would be so great to come have on the show. So, it's a great opportunity from what I could see, though, for networking. So is there a highlight or a feature of the event on the 18th that you're most excited about?
Oh, I'm really just excited about having the opportunity to just meet with the community and hang out.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly think that's what is missing sometimes is that human connection.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, just having that opportunity to maybe see people you haven't seen in 6 months. Again, our lives are busy. Burnout is totally real. So I'm sure as we wind down to the end of the year, people are getting tired of doing the same thing. So this kind of can give you maybe a reprieve from that. And again, just inspire you for 2026. And that's really what I'm hoping to get out of this is, new collaborations, partnerships, and new opportunities walking into the new year.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Mike? What are you excited about?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of that. I think that this is an opportunity for, I'm going to put out a challenge that if you know anything about Rogue or you know the way that we got started, it was at Nexus Esports. And before that, it was over at King's Landing. So I'm going to say if there's anybody out there that used to create stuff with us when we were back in our King's Landing with our green screen and our
flying
little
by the
clips
seat of
and
our
stuff. Yeah. If there's anybody out there from that crowd, please show up. One of the first things that we did as a production company, and this was before it was named Rogue, we rented out a space in the convention center for 2 days. And all we did was invite everybody, and they just came and filmed stuff. We got some really bad things out of that, but there were a couple of little nuggets, and it showed me that people just want to be heard and seen, and maybe they don't have the equipment, and maybe they don't have the time, and maybe they don't know the people to talk to. And getting started is the most scary part of this. Once you're in it, you're fine. So just come and figure out how to get started with us.
Yeah. Well, it is going to be a wonderful opportunity for folks. Creator Fest 2025. Thank you, Debbie, for coming up with this idea, and Mike, for everything Rogue does for me personally, and for the community, and for creative type folks who do want to be heard. Again, this is at 6 p.m. on December 18th at the Performing Arts Community Center on Austin Avenue. And come check it out and meet everybody.
Yes.
Kind of kick off the season. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you.
We postponed our Christmas party for this, by the way. Just letting you know.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
So basically just have 2 Christmas
That's
parties.
how important it is.
That's how
right.
important this is.
That's right. Well, it's going to be great. Thank you both so
Thanks,
much.
Ann.
Hey Waco, we're coming to you live from the Wacoan office, and it's time for Waco Weekend with Debbie
and Jenna. We're back bringing you the very best of everything happening in Waco this weekend. And it's Thanksgiving weekend, which means it's time for great food, family time, and the official kickoff to the holiday season.
That's right, kicking off Thursday morning is the Turkey Trot. Head on over for Poultry in Motion downtown, this time to support the Community Cancer Association.
Then on Friday, the holidays are in full swing over at Magnolia. Christmas at the Silos opens Friday with extended shopping hours, Santa letters, gingerbread land sets, and plenty of festive fun running all the way through the new year.
Also on Friday is Wild Lights at Cameron Park Zoo with sparkling lights, festive photo ops, and even a special visit from Santa. Make it a magical holiday evening at the Cameron Park Zoo.
And starting Friday, lasting all the way through Sunday, is the annual Homestead Fair. Enjoy food, live music, crafts, demonstrations, and the family-friendly charm that we look forward to every Thanksgiving weekend.
And finally, for sports fans, this Saturday is Senior Day for the Baylor Bears. Head on over at the McLean Stadium for the Houston Cougars versus Baylor. Cheer loud for our seniors for one last game.
And don't forget, you can always visit the Grackle at wacoan.com for more guides, features, and our weekly Waco Weekend wrap-up every Wednesday.
Enjoy your
Waco Weekend.